Okay, today we are going to look at semicolons and commas as it relates to correcting these sentences from your anchor last week. So, most important thing about finding punctuation, and the reason why it's important, is it shows you where the sentence breaks. So what you're looking for in these sentences is where are the clauses and how can I break them into pieces. So for instance, number one, Libby enjoys hot chocolate, but she really likes coffee better. All right, in this case, we're trying to figure out which are the two parts of the sentence. Libby enjoys hot chocolate, one part. She really likes coffee better, the second part. Now you have a coordinating conjunction in the middle, but, so in this case, you're just going to add a comma instead of a semicolon. Two, take care of the children. The adults can take care of themselves. All right, so you're finding where the break is in the sentence. In this case, you have two independent sentences, or clauses, independent clauses, that can stand by themselves. Take care of the children. That's one. And the adults can take care of themselves. So in this case, you have no coordinating conjunction. You need the semicolon. It was not the hours or the wages that discouraged me. It was the constant monotony of the work. Okay, so every time you see a coordinating conjunction, like or, doesn't mean that you necessarily need the comma there. So don't be tricked by that. Are you combining two things that are clauses, or are you combining something smaller? And here, it was not the hours or the wages. The wages and the hours are two things, yes, but they are not two clauses. They are just two nouns. So this here, the or, you would not need a comma there. It was not the hours or the wages. Oh, I didn't realize my little mistake there. The wages that discouraged me. It was the constant monotony of the work. So here is where the break in the sentence is. It was not the hours nor the wages that discouraged me. That's one part. It was the constant monotony of the work. So here you need the semicolon. Apples, oranges, and grapefruit were all on sale from the FFA. Most people will get this one, items in a series. Okay, there were two young elephants. They needed to have the hair trimmed out of their noses. In this case, there were two young elephants, one clause. They needed to have their hairs trimmed out of their noses, another one. So you put the semicolon in the middle. It was so easy to build smokestacks out of the cardboard. The hard part was keeping the smokestacks from burning up. All right, so where are the two parts? It was so easy to build smokestacks out of the cardboard. That's one sentence, one independent clause. The hard part was keeping the smokestacks from burning up, a second one. Okay, 7. Irma was a very contented lady. While she was swimming, she always grinned. There's actually two ways to do this. You can say Irma was a very contented lady while she was swimming, or you could say Irma was a very contented lady. While she was swimming, she always grinned. Either way is okay, here or here. Obviously not both places. Put the semicolon and it will work. So that would be correct. This would also be correct. Okay. Then she would flap her arms to and fro and grin some more. She was a sight to see. This is another one where you have this arms to and fro, and you have a coordinating conjunction, but you don't have two clauses. You only have to and fro, two prepositions. In this case, you don't need the comma there. Then she would flap her arms and grin some more. In fact, you have here a verb, and here a verb, flap and grin, but you have no subject, which means this is also not a clause. So she would flap her arms to and fro and grin some more. This is where the break in the sentence is. She was a sight to see. That's an independent clause. This is an independent clause. My teacher, Miss Conyers, taught me about poetry. In this case, you have an appositive that renames teacher. Miss Conyers is the name of the teacher. So you set it apart by commas because you could take this out of the sentence. My teacher taught me about poetry, and the sentence would still make sense. She tried, however, she could not do it. However is one of those large conjunctions, and we have got to set it apart like that. You just need to remember whenever you see however, therefore, those very large ones, then you are setting it apart with the semicolon before the comma after. The houses were on Lewis Street, Roundtree Street, and Kennedy Street. Again, items in a series. That one's pretty easy. Just make sure that you are separating the streets together. He has friends from Pensacola, Florida, Miami, Florida, and Omaha, Nebraska. This one is where you have supercharged items in a series. We know that we separate names of cities from the states, But then if you start putting commas in between here as well, it becomes very confusing. So instead we're going to use semicolons because it's helped to separate the cities, these large city names from each other. Although this is a difficult exercise, I am having fun. All right, although it's a difficult exercise, I am having fun. There's the break right here. You have this although on the front of it, so we're going to do simply a comma because just like we have two independent clauses, but this one's not. This is a dependent clause, so we would not put a semicolon here. We put a comma instead because you have this although conjunction. Adverb, excuse me. That FBI agent, the one who is wearing dark glasses, once protected the president. Again, you have an appositive here, the one wearing dark glasses. That describes the FBI agent, renames it. You can pull it straight out of the sentence. That FBI agent once protected the president. That makes perfect sense. So you just set this apart. Did you, John, eat my cake? This is a direct address. And you also could take that out of the sentence. It would still make sense. Mr. Patterson, my favorite cashier, rung up my groceries at the buy-load. All right, so again, a positive. Cashier, renaming Mr. Patterson. Golden retrievers, which are known to be gentle, are also loyal. All right, which are known to be gentle. Here we seem to be noticing a pattern. I would love to be rich and famous. Fame has mixed blessings. This is your break here. One independent clause here, one independent clause there. And so the semicolon rather than a comma conjunction. They built an adobe house, however. I see that very large there. I have to put in my little formula like that. Helen, Georgia is a great place to visit in the summer. The mountains are beautiful and the shops are interesting. We have a lot of things going on here. We know we have to separate the town name from the state. It's a great place to visit in the summer. That's one independent clause and another independent clause. The mountains are beautiful. That's actually compound complex because we've got a lot going on here. And this and separates this dependent clause from this independent clause. So there's a lot going on in 20, and that one's commonly missed. So hopefully that helps you as you're looking through your anchor this week. These sentences are very similar to the sentences you'll do this week, and hopefully you'll be able to find those breaks. Is it an independent clause? Are you separating things, or are you just pausing briefly or renaming through an appositive? Good luck.